Well, Anna Werner joins us now from West Alton, Missouri. Anna, what is going on behind you? I can see that perhaps there was a street there because I see a street sign, but all I see is water other than that.
Right, so let me set the scene for you here, okay? As you look back behind me, what you're going to see is the bridge. That's the bridge that extends over the Mississippi River, and that's where the river is supposed to be right now. All of this water is flood water. You can see that sign behind me, the do not enter wrong way sign. I'm going to walk over here so you can get a sense. Now this is US Route 67 out here, maybe a little further than where I am right now in the water. These are the southbound lanes of US Route 67. The northbound lanes are still passable. You might hear the traffic going by because they're up further, sort of, where a levee might be. But all of this is flooded, and the problem is this water is not expected to crest until Thursday. And the water is basically everywhere. There's several different areas of St. Louis, but right here we're north of St. Louis in West Alton, Missouri. Across the Mississippi River is Alton, Illinois, and all of these areas, people in here have been told to evacuate. There's other areas further south where they've been told to evacuate, and we can expect more of this to continue throughout the day. There's lots of people out doing sandbag efforts, trying to keep water out of critical areas and infrastructure right now.
Anna, we've covered floods so many times, and they usually are springtime floods. Can you talk about just how unusual this is, especially such a large flood this time of year in the Midwest?
It is. This is not the time of year that the Mississippi is supposed to flood. You would never see water in these areas at this time of year. But what happened is you had this huge December rainfall, and all of that rainfall that comes into the surrounding areas and cities all falls, then flows down and winds up here. Another significant difference to point out. Now, you know that some 12 people have been killed in floodwaters. Those people were in cars. One thing is, you do not want to get caught in these floodwaters because in the spring or in the summer, this water would be warm. I can tell you, standing in this water right now, you can feel the cold of the water through your boots. So if you're in a car and you get stuck in these floodwaters, not only are you contending with floodwaters trying to get out, but as the water creeps up, it's going to be very cold, and that can be literally paralyzing to you if you're cold enough.
Yeah, so, can we talk a little bit about that? Clearly, there are going to be people. You said the water's continuing to rise in some areas. People are going to want to get out of their homes, but we're also talking about a lot of streets that are not passable. And like you said, you don't want to drive through water. You really don't know how deep it is. So, what are authorities telling people in regards to getting out and getting out safely?
Well, they're telling them to evacuate. They're telling people who need help to contact authorities. You know, people who are elderly, who have health problems. The authorities say they're trying to get to all of those people. But I heard this morning on one of the local AM radio stations that even people in this area, that there were still some people who still have not evacuated as of early this morning. I don't know if that's because they can't get out or they won't get out. But authorities are saying they absolutely should get out. There's another area south of here on the south end of town, further southwest, Valley Park, where there was a levee that was built after a flood in the 1980s. And this flood is testing the levee, and authorities have told everybody there to evacuate. They're saying that they are hoping that that levee will hold, and they expect it to hold. But they don't want to be in a situation where people didn't evacuate, the levee doesn't hold, and suddenly they have a whole community that's flooded and at risk.
Anna Werner for us in West Alton, Missouri. Thank you so much. I was reading a little bit earlier that some people trying to evacuate have to go 30 miles or more outside of where they live just because there's so much water, and it's definitely been a wild week of weather.
Understatement, I think, for sure.